A beautiful wherever you're watching us from. It is U45 Morning Show. You are welcome. I mean, it's a beautiful day. It is Friday, so we are saying thank God it's Friday. Time to reflect on things that you've done over the week, and then as you look forward to the following or the coming week, you should know things to do and things not to do. Welcome to U45. You know how it goes. We take you through some happenings in the country. That's when we're looking at the newspaper review, and then we have our hashtags and trends that will be also looking at the trends in the country and outside the country, and then we have a topic for today. The topic for discussion is that of which affects every individual, no matter who you are. This topic affects you, and that is the hiking fuel price. It's affecting everybody, just no matter who you are, be a child, be a teenager, be an adult. It affects you because one way or the other, you will feel the impact of this fuel hike. So all of this we'll be looking at during the course of the show, U45 Morning Show. So right about now, we will go straight to the newspaper headline. Alright, so welcome. Shegun Oladiemi is my name.
Alright guys, good morning. Thank God it's Friday. I am Osagi Solomon.
You're all welcome to the U45 Morning Show. Thank God it's Friday, and as the first Friday of the year, I hope you guys have started on a new page and a new slate, and this year shall be very good for all of us. And Patience Willie, welcome.
Alright, going straight to the newspaper review. We'll start on the Punch newspaper, and the main headline and the Punch newspaper says Forex scandal. EFCC combs Dangote headquarters for documents and probes 51 firms. You find out on page 2. The writer says how EFCC ordered 52 firms to submit forex allocation from 2014 to 2023. Guys,
Like long period, 9 years.
Yeah, so it shows that EFCC have been doing their homework.
And investigations.
Exactly. So for them to come out now to make some search at the Dangote headquarters, they are quite sure that they may find something.
But could it be that the previous administration did not really pay attention to all of this? Because if you have to start checking from 2014 to 2023, that means some people did not really think in a particular direction. And now this EFCC, I mean, we've not seen EFCC come to interrogate or comb Dangote headquarters, but now they don't want to leave any stone
unturned.
So it might be possible that there is no affiliation, there is nothing, there is no illegal document probing Dangote headquarters, but yet what has to be done has to be done.
I have a feeling that they had investigated and they have concrete evidence, because you just can't go into Dangote's headquarters just like that without having an evidence concerning you. It's possible.
Might be wrong, you know.
Yes, they might be wrong, but for them to go and comb the office, that means they had a strong lead. They must have had some very good information, a tip-off that made them go to investigate their headquarters. That's my take.
All right, so another story. There's a picture here, and the headline there says traders protest ask Lagos government to approve market, and you find that on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. Another story, very interesting one here, says fake degrees, 10,900 Nigerians in Benin, Togo lament. Fake degrees, 10,900 Nigerians in Benin, Togo varsities lament.
Now, why didn't they do enough investigations before going to register the children in these universities?
Okay, so it is fast, and so I recall then was in year, I think think I was in year 2. And before rounding up from year 2, someone enrolled. I was in year 2, and the person enrolled. Not to enroll, meaning to be in year 1, right? Before rounding up, the person graduated.
Wow.
Like, okay. They write the exam once. No first semester exam.
Second semester exam.
One exam, and you're done with that level. Onto another level.
Shegun, the Nigerian University Commission gave some of these varsities the license
To operate.
in Nigeria, not doing proper investigation of their modus operandi. And now, many years after, they have churned out lots of graduates. In fact, these guys will get the job faster than the average guy that went to Unical, because they assume that he probably schooled abroad. You know how Nigerian is abroad, whatever. And then years after, if not for the situation that came out with the guy from the newspaper, we would not have known this truth. But it has been existing, and thousands of Nigerians, you can imagine, almost 11,000 Nigerians who are schooling in some of these universities
In Nigeria.
And some outside Nigeria.
Outside Nigeria.
They are lamenting because this suspension would affect them.
But I also know family members who have gone to university in Cotonou, in Benin, and they actually did the
NYSC.
NYSC, no, but they went through the process. They did first semester, second semester, third semester. They went through the process, did all the examinations, and then passed. And they came to Nigeria and served.
And the funny thing is,
including some students in this Odegbe University they are talking about.
Yes, the American,
Yes.
North American University.
It's a shame.
But what is it now that the government is beginning to realize that they're churning out fake results? They gave them the licenses, and they should have laid down some principles and some guidelines for operations for these universities. This is how our educational sector operates in Nigeria, and you have to follow this process.
But again, in all fairness to the University Commission, you come with your proposal, like, okay, you want to open establish a university, and they say, all right, bring this form, bring this, and you bring them, and they tell you, all right, this is how you go about it, this is what to do, and you say, okay, sir. They bring the form, you sign, they ask you to pay a particular fee, you paid, and they say, all right, you've seen how other universities, because before you even come up that you want to have your own institution, you must have seen how it runs, you must have worked in the system. So they know that it should not be a new thing to you, right?
Aside from that, they should have a census board.
God bless you. I was going to say that, because you don't just give people license and then you go to sleep.
Yes.
You have to monitor
them.
But how many universities do you want to monitor? Now these guys are underfunded. They're not well funded. No ministry is adequately funded in Nigeria. No ministry is adequately funded. So these guys will tell you they are underfunded. So the little they have, they will monitor the ones they can monitor. Because even Nigerian university, state-owned university, federal university, they hardly monitor these universities. So not to talk of the privately owned university, both local and international. It's a lot of work for them, we know. But then the government needs to step in and make sure that what is required of them is granted to this commission, so that they can do their work judiciously.
All right, we just hope that proper and thorough investigations will be carried out.
But what happens to the people that have graduated with their certificate?
No, they are good to go.
Okay.
Because NYSC is also being investigated. Okay. There's a whole lot in connection with this. I just hope we're able to get to the bottom of it. All right, another story says banks borrow over 19 trillion from CBN. That's according to a report on page 21. Another story says customs generate 3 trillion naira and then 5 trillion naira in 2024. That's a lot of money. Okay, finally on the Punch newspaper, it says Plateau attack, survivors battle hunger in IDP camp. You find that on page 7 of the Punch newspaper.
And going to the Vanguard newspaper, the main story says uproar over imposters exposed in army recruitment exercise. The writer says MBF, PANDEF, Afenifere kick proper solution. Another writer says it's a wider agenda to emasculate the North. NEF. And the writer says recruitment exercise Oshodi solo local government boss must be probed. Going ahead, another writer says Oshodi is solo local government chairman Oloyede orders thorough investigation. Lagos will ensure prosecution of suspects. Omotosho vows. Another writer says corporates will be prosecuted. Going ahead, another writer says how we arrested fraudulent candidates. Army. Now you can see the Northerners coming to Lagos, and they're trying to take the place of Lagosians, and saying they're Lagosians, they're not Northerners.
I want to believe that this is the time we are going to get it right in Nigeria, because everyone has been exposed. I mean, at some point, all of these things will go scot-free. So there was a point in time, I was somewhere, and then I saw someone. His name is a Yoruba name, right? Both first name, second name, last name, all Yoruba names, but he does not understand
a word of Yoruba.
Come in Yoruba, and his intonation is that of Akwa Ibom, and he speaks Akwa Ibom very well. But all his names, Yoruba names, meaning somewhere, somehow, certificate has been forged.
It could also be possible that he was born in Akwa Ibom, grew up. Children have this tendency of picking up languages very, very fast, and they speak like the people in the environs where they grow.
So whom did he stay with in Akwa Ibom? The parents?
It's possible he stayed
Mother
with
or
his
father?
parents, because the Gen Z parents don't even speak their languages to their children.
Well, I don't think that guy is Gen Z. It might just be an imposter.
It could be. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying there's no possibility of him being an imposter, but it's also possible that he grew up in that environment.
If you grew up in the north, right?
Yeah.
If you grew up in the north, I have someone who grew up in the north. If you grew up in the north and you don't speak your own native dialect where you're from, and you're in the north, you'll be given an Hausa name. I have a friend who is a Yoruba guy. He speaks Yoruba, but then because he grew up in the north, he has an Hausa name. His Yoruba name Abayomi, but the Hausa name is Mustafa. They will not give you all your names Yoruba and then you live in another geopolitical zone, and that is where. So how do you identify yourself? You get, and I'm like,
the chances are higher for him being an imposter.
Yeah,
I know someday, somehow, Nigeria will get it right, and when we do, it will be better for all of us.
Definitely. Moving ahead, another story says forest pressures worsens as manufactured good imports rise 39% to 3.96 trillion naira. This can be found on page 9. Moving ahead, another story says ex-minister Farouk cited illness for shunning our invitation. That's EFCC saying the ex-minister Farouk cited illness for shunning our invitation. Another story also says South African Rupert displaces Dangote as Africa's richest person. Now you can see it's like it's raining cats and dogs on Dangote this new year.
Well, I think it's usually like that for this billionaires. Sometimes one investment here, one deal here can either take you up
Or down.
or bring you down. The difference might not be much. If you read through that story on page 9, Dangote definitely will bounce back. There was a time for many years the richest man in the world was undulating between Bill Gates and some other folks, Warren Buffett and all. So it just keeps undulating here and there. Most times they are in the top 3, So I believe Dangote will bounce back.
Even this one, I know it will bounce back.
Yeah,
because,
the refinery has not even
he's
started.
invested in the refinery.
Exactly.
So the money invested will
Has
not be
not-
counted. So when it generates profit and all of that, it will be counted. So I know it will bounce back. That's Dangote for you.
To other stories, Plateau Appeal Court unfair to me, Governor Mutfwang tells Supreme Court. That can be found on page 9 of the Vanguard. Another story says Kano demolition, victims lament loss of 30 persons, 260 billion naira properties. This can be found on page 8. Another story says mobilization, how undercover reporter breached our system to enroll twice.
That's NYSC.
NYSC. This is page 9.
I know it's free allowing. Everybody just wants to go there and collect government's free money.
But how did he breach into this system and enroll twice?
Nigerians are here duping people abroad.
Oh. Another story says, Owe Lakemfa, our world has become a more unstable and harsh place. It is changing at an almost breathtaking speed. Shows added, as a result, we also have to change. This is worrying for many of us. That is on page 17, and that's all I can take on the Vanguard.
All right, moving on straight to the Daily Sun. The front burner says suspect education certificates. Federal government may extend clampdown to Kenya, Uganda varsities. But we don't really hear stories concerning those. It's Benin and Togo.
Yes.
Anyway, don't experts ask governments to beam searchlight on local institutions.
Yes.
I totally agree with this one.
Yes.
I mean, you go to some states, or show for instance, you see maybe 1 acre of land, and then by the time you look at the entrance gate, you see something university. 1 acre of land with 2 buildings and forest everywhere. You look, you say something university. Who approved this thing? You understand?
No laboratories, no facilities, just 2 buildings, and it's called a university. Now the government also have to look inward into themselves too, because there are people in the government who are approving the schools.
Exactly. That's why we're calling on the NUC. The NUC is not an independent body. They are regulated by the government.
Yes.
You understand? So certain people somewhere probably would have collected bribes somehow just to approve certain institutions that are not worthy for approval. I just hope we're able to wrap this up and get it right eventually.
All right, moving on away from there. Another headline says, Plateau killings. Gombe governor advises against reprisals. The headline say, the writer says, we will not neglect border communities, lawmakers. All right, another headline says, Wike receives 50 billion naira for capital projects in FCT. Wike is working.
Yeah.
Another headline says, Bayelsa governor sues for peace as Fubara visits. The writer says, Rivers crisis. Ehie withdraws suit challenging Amawule orders. You find that on page 26. This headline says, Forex. EFCC rates Dangote Bua. Others says exercise continues. So it's not just Dangote headquarters.
Yeah.
Everybody, and they will continue this thing until they make sure that there's no stone that's been left unturned, which is good.
And I hope at the end of the day, when they come out with their findings, don't sweep it under the carpet. Yes.
Hopefully they will follow through. All right. Another one says, please, photographer die in Sokoto Deputy Governor's convoy road crash.
That's sad.
This is a very
sad
story. I mean, it's the beginning of the year, and while others are rejoicing, celebrating, and our people will have to mourn. So every Happy New Year that people are doing, Nigerians are doing, this set of people will be remembering the death of their
beloved ones.
Their beloved ones. I mean,
it's sad.
It's
sad. That brings us to the government looking into restructuring the roads. Our roads are bad. They're very, very bad. The government...
The motorists should also be careful.
Yeah, the motorists should be careful. Then the roads have to be in good conditions too. It might be possibly he was trying to dodge a pothole, and this happened. You never know.
The roads are terrible.
Yes, they are.
The express road linking Ilorin, that's Kwara State, to Oyo, that's Oyo State, looks like a one-way, and it's for tourists going and coming to and fro, and then the roads are bad, potholes everywhere, and that is a major road.
Shegun, when I was much younger, it bothers me how since 1960 till that time when I was having that soloquization, how come this government has not been able to fix roads? Can we just fix all roads in Nigeria? Let's know that roads have been fixed. On to the next. Yeah. What we'll be doing is maintenance.
Yes.
It's been years and we still don't have motorable roads. It's quite unfortunate.
It's so sad that some roads in Ogun State, Ijebu to be precise, let's say Kene, right? It is the same road that Awolowo fixed during his era that is still there. Awolowo. So imagine the people, the House of Reps members, the senators representing all those constituents, the governor, the commissioner. What are they doing with funds? What are they doing with funds? You barely see bridges. I can count the number of bridges in Ogun State as a whole. And you say you're working for the people? No, you're not working for the people. You're working for your pocket.
Absolutely.
Anyway, moving on from that, another headline says, maritime workers threaten to ground ports January 9th. Now, if they ground the
seaports,
seaport activities, that is we generate a lot from our port. So what is going to happen?
Well, I think it might just be a threat, like every other union would do, just to get the attention of the government to meet their needs and do their bidding. You know, hopefully they are able to reach a truce with the stakeholders, so that our ports will not be grounded, because Nigeria currently is already grounded economically.
Exactly.
You know, and then to have our ports grounded also, I mean, it will just be like moving from frying pan to fire.
It's going to affect a lot of people because we import virtually everything in this country.
Nigeria is an import bound nation. We import everything. All right. So we'll continue. Still on the newspaper, we're going straight to the Nigerian Tribune, and then the main headline, which is in almost all the papers: EFCC storms Dangote headquarters investigations. Is part of Emefiele's case. You find out on page 2. I just hope that Dangote doesn't have any type of connection with all of the issues Emefiele is going through, because I mean, it's not good to be a good one for the billionaire. Shegun, what do you think?
I mean, out of one or two, the truth is established. Now everybody is saying the same thing, meaning there might be
Some type of-
it might be so minute that it can be overlooked. But then, if it is an iota of corruption, it is corruption. Does not matter the level. Does not matter. Corruption is corruption. So if he's involved in it, then action has to be taken against him and whomever it is. How do I put it? Associated with that, because I mean, one man cannot be corrupt in the midst of multitude. So if it affects him, automatically it's affecting one or two persons in government. You understand? So one or two persons in government definitely have hand in it as well. So let us comb everywhere. I'm super excited about what this administration is doing. I mean, it's just the first year, and we're looking into every sector. And the one I want them to go to is the aviation sector as well.
Oh, that place is... but the president made some SARS.
Yes.
A few months ago, last year.
Yes.
So some of the directors were replaced. Hopefully, proper combing will be made in major sectors, and we can bring sanity. Because truthfully, one of the endemic that Nigeria has faced over the years is corruption. All right. Still on the Nigerian Tribune. Another story says Ondo PDP appoints acting chairman, says Adams suspension remains. And then the writer says suspended Ondo local government LCDA chairman to go to appeal court to challenge High Court order. You find that on page 5. Still on the Nigerian Tribune. Plateau killings. Police arrest 8 suspects. You find that on page 26. I just hope they are not innocent people, and through true justice will be meted. Still on the Nigerian Tribune, Adeleke harmonizes levies, taxes for ease of doing business. Another story says Nollywood actor Olofaina dies at 73. Our condolences to the loved ones and to the family. Troops kill 10 terrorists and rescue abducted victims in Katsina and Zamfara. This is good news.
You see, if the Nigerian police wants to do their work, they will deliver 100%. They leave Nigeria, go to Sierra Leone,
To Liberia.
and they are awarded with honors like these guys are good, and then they come home, they're unable to do anything.
Now, from sources, it's alleged that there's some people up there that stop them from carrying out their duties, that they actually get to the point of rounding up the bandits and all this when they get a call from above that tells them, don't move, don't touch these people. So they're handicapped, their hands are tied. If not, they would have swept all these bandits out of the way.
I mean, there was back then I boarded a bike, and then the bike man was a mobile police personnel. We were talking, usually when I'm on a bike, I
Engage in conversation.
them. So we just discuss, and we're talking. And at the point, the guy said something. He said they went for a mission in one of these northern states, and then the guys, the bandit guy, killed like 4 of their personnel, and then they were asked not to kill, but round them up. So they made arrests and all of this, and then they took them to the headquarters and all, and then they said, okay, keep them in this cell. The following day, when they got back there,
They were nowhere to be found.
they said they've been pardoned. What was the word? They've repented.
Just like that.
Just like that. So, with all of this, you think a policeman will risk his life for him to be killed, And you know fully well that once police guys are killed, maximum 1 year, the family will be thrown out of the barracks because another person
Just to take the space.
Well, for me, I've been observing what's going on in the past few days since the political moments, and I think it's a recurring thing. Maybe it's a good topic for investigation, because whenever there are bombings or killings in Nigeria, few days or few weeks after, we start hearing how troops, joint task force, have started clamping down on terrorists. And this is a subtle way to douse the tension so that people will feel like we are actually winning the battle against terrorism. We are not. We are not. It's just politics. We are not. You get so. I mean, for me, kudos to the troops, but this is too predictable. This is too predictable. You know, I just hope that Nigeria will be ready, because we are not. We're not ready to fight terrorism. And I say it with full confidence. And Nigeria is not ready to fight terrorism because we have seen what Nigeria has done in other times, in other states, where there's war. The Nigerian army will go there and bring silence.
Like I said initially, they are handicapped because they know what to do, and they know how to go about doing this. But there are people up there that are stopping them from doing their jobs, like you said, like
people in there,
and up there.
You know, so
People in are the bosses. They are subordinates to the people who are giving them the orders, like he said. They rounded up those people, took them to the police station, and at the next day they went there, they said they had repented.
repent of,
and they were set free. Who set them free?
We're not ready to fight terrorism. All right. Still on the Nigerian Tribune, there's this interesting one. ASP on the run as police arrests dismiss inspector for alleged robbery in Lagos.
Oh.
Assistant Superintendent of Police? That's an officer.
Well, it's I mean, I don't know what to say. I just pray the cleansing continues.
If we can cleanse the entire system, then we will enjoy the dividend of democracy.
Definitely.
I mean, there are some things that the Nigerian army are being called upon to come and face. So it is not their business. The Nigerian police can handle it. I mean, we have special forces in the Nigerian police,
yes,
that are trained, gone to Goza Hills and back. They are highly trained, but then you're faced with the bandits and they're telling you obey the last order, you can't shoot, you can't do anything. And the person is there shooting at you, doing all sorts
with superior ammunition.
Yes, and you can't do anything. You just be there and you're looking because you're waiting for
the last order.
It's
well, quite unfortunate. And finally, on the Nigerian Tribune, 2 arrested for allegedly slitting throats of neighbor in Kwara State. Final on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And if you check this, it might be maybe because of food, because of maybe
something very, very trivial. But they don't have any right to take lives, no matter what. If it's because of food, if it's because of 5,000 naira, 5,000 naira of food is not worth the dead man's life.
It's crazy.
You didn't give life to this person in the first place.
The story we talked about a while ago
about the husband
killed
the wife because of food.
That's how bad it has gotten. And we have resources in this country. The US that do not have any resources, the UK that do not have any resources. These people are living large. They are living fine. They are taking the best hands from Nigeria to their country. And we that have all the resources, we're living in penury. That goes to show that our leaders are not right thinking.
Well, that'll be all for the Nigerian Tribune.
And then moving on to the Daily Trust, the main story says, households, SMEs still buy cooking gas at 1,100 for 1 kg. And the writer says, families, businesses lament. Another writer says, multinationals should pay attention to domestic supply, not export. Going on to another writer, crude oil stability key to gas production sufficiency. That's what an expert say. Now gas has gone up. Well, it's alleged that they've already started selling for 1,200.
I just believe that when the Port Harcourt refinery starts to work and then Dangote refinery starts to work, instead of flaring the gas, you understand, we'll put it into good use, and you bring out the cooking gas out of it, and then we'll be able to sell to ourselves. I mean, Nigeria giving gas to South Africa. We are suffering in the country. You're exporting to other countries. Remember the story we heard a while ago where they want to do a channel from Nigeria through Niger to go to France to supply gas.
When we don't have enough. You take care of your family first before you start taking care of outsiders.
If you look at the newspaper, the Daily Trust did a breakdown of the cylinders and their prices.
Yes.
12 kg price before and after
subsidy removal.
Before subsidy was 9,500. Even at that time, that was around May
2023.
Biting hard on Nigerians.
On Nigerians, yes.
You know, and then after subsidy removal, it was now being sold for 12,000 naira. You know, even as of last month, you know, and same thing, price per kilogram in Nigeria, 900 to 1,200, and then 12 kg for 11,000 and 12,000 to 12,000 naira. I mean, it just shows that it was a subsidy removal that took the Nigerian economy to a nosedive.
And then to another story, subscribers kick as telcos seek FG's nod to increase tariffs. We're talking about gas, we're talking about fuel. Now the subscribers are kicking as telcos, that is most of the telecommunication companies want to increase the tariffs.
Now they just want to choke the economy. They want to kill the people. Now, when you destroy the country, who are you going to cover?
The subscriber, the telecom company are not the ones killing the economy. The government is killing the economy.
No, that's what I'm saying. That when they destroy everybody, who are they going to cover?
Definitely nobody.
Everybody's been affected. These guys are also been affected. The cost of producing anything, importing anything, buying anything has tripled. So everybody's gonna find a way somehow to float. And you can see the people who bear the brunt, like we always say.
The masses.
The
masses, yes.
You understand? You know, for these government guys, officials at the top, they don't really feel it.
They don't really feel it. They do not feel it at all. Because every month you're given hardship allowance.
Hardship?
Yes, hardship allowance.
What hardship are they facing for crying out loud?
Who needs the hardship?
The citizen we need it.
Going through the hardship, they are collecting the allowance. So hardship allowance of 1.5 or 1.7, they will have increased it now per month.
Amazing.
Just for hardship allowance.
Now to another story, missing trust radio tower. Civil defense fails to refund 6.5 million naira.
It's something that everyone will be held accountable very soon. Very soon. Everybody will be held accountable, and I hope when that time comes, they will be ready to dance to the tune.
they will be ready. All right. Thank you so much all for staying tuned. This is all we can take on the newspaper review. We hope you have seen, read all of these things we're saying. We're not trying to paint the country bad to you, but we're just reading out this situation of things, the reality on ground, you understand, so that you will know that it is not business as usual. It is not business as usual. You have to sit tight, sit up, and then do anything possible. I mean, when I say anything possible, I mean positive things to remain relevant and to be able to fend for your family, because it is very, very important. And I hope that someday we'll go beyond this phase, and then we'll smile at the end of the day. So we'll go on a short break right now. We'll come back to be time for hashtag and trends, and then we'll look at the topic for discussion today. We're looking at the hike in fuel price. I know that we will survive. You know, the theme for this year is no grief for anybody. You understand? That's the slogan for this year. No grief for anybody. So if the economy wants to frustrate you, no grief. You understand? And how would you prevent that? By learning other skills. Don't have one stream of income. Do other things, so that as this one is coming in, try as much as possible to another comes in, so you can be able to match up. You understand? All right, stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
Some school of thoughts believe the major challenges confronting Nigeria as a nation is caused by poor leadership. How true is this? You and I can actually put government into tools to deliver the dividends of democracy. Join us every Saturday by 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let us look at the issues confronting us as a nation. Together we talk heads. Nigeria can be great again. I'm Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. Keep it date.
What up, guys? How's your day going? How are you doing this? I want to believe that you're having fun, right? This bright and sunny day. You know that once you see this duo on your TV screen, we're here to serve you some entertainment.
And of course, entertaining gist coupled with good music won't hurt anybody, right? So here on Super Lunch, we get to entertain you, educate you on recent happenings in the world of entertainment. I am your girl, Eva Grace.
And I am Shegun Denola Adeyemi, the Duke of your airwaves. You know how...
You're welcome back from that break. Thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching U45 Morning Show. And while we're on break, our amiable, the beautiful Adenike just join us.
Good morning, viewers. What's that, Shego? Talking as if I'm like one model. Hello, I'm not Agbani Darego. But just thank God it's Friday. That's why I'm in this attire. And thanks to the gentle co-presenter seated by my side.
Yeah, I can see that even from the set.
And I'm wondering why Shego. No, Shego, just tell me you are prepared to go clubbing today. Maybe that's why you just like this, and you just want to act like one young,
Someone said only a rich Paris will go to club every Friday. This era.
Really?
In Lagos.
Yeah, I don't believe that. We know how it goes in Lagos. Yeah, we were a party freak basically. Good morning, viewers. Good to know you're here to watch U45 Morning Show. I'd like to introduce Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. So, Shegun.
Alright, so right about now, like I said before, the topic we'll be treating today is the hiking fuel price. That's what we want to talk about today, because I don't want to know who you are. You will definitely feel it. For instance, everyone using a luxurious vehicle, right? You use a Jeep that has 50 liters and then another 50 liters for reserve. That's 100 liters. Now, by the time you calculate 100 liters by 1,200, or we've not got it to 1,200, it was still 650, right? But then you multiply it by 650 naira, it's running into hundreds of thousands. So please tell me you are not feeling it.
It's not possible. The truth of the matter is everybody's feeling the economy the way it is, and there's no denying that, because the fact is just there. It is obvious. Now you use close to 50,000 naira, depending on how large your tank is, so that would be dependent on the amount of money that you'll be throwing at the gas station. But of course, let's really look at this. 1,200 naira to be buying fuel in a country that produces this very product. I think this is totally unacceptable. But of course, we have seen NNPC coming out to deny it. But like I will always say, it's just a way to push it to Nigerians and get their reaction. Because definitely, as we go, the truth of the matter is the price, the pump price of fuel will still be at least at 800 or 900. That's where we are going.
You know, the World Bank said 750. Maybe that's where they want to go to. But before stopping there, let's push it to them. Let's say 1, 2.
So that by the time we're coming back to 750 or 900, they'll say, well, thank God it's not 1,000.
It's not 1,000. By the time you protest here and there, NLC do their labor strike, and then everybody will now come to the middle. Let's settle at the middle. All right, let's do 750. Like, okay, well, try. You've tried, and bam, 750.
You know, see, Shegun, this is a very interesting and serious discussion, because like, Nigerians are so used to hardship, and you know, because I mean, how we are not on the streets protesting beats my imagination. And the rumor of this is the same nation that took to the streets to occupy Nigeria during the Jonathan era. When it was less than 100 naira.
That was at 85 naira per liter. It was still at 85 naira per liter.
As at then, poverty has not risen this high. You understand? So if you do not work for a week, you still eat.
Yet we protested.
Yes.
So we should be lazy now.
But now, if you don't work for 2 days, you might not eat.
Shegun.
You are even talking of a day.
You understand?
A day right
now. The poverty
now.
level is so high. People do not want to miss work for 1 day, because who is going to feed the children? School fees has gone up.
Of course.
Those working and those not working, they are almost in the same shoes.
Yeah, because we are working, when you look at transportation costs, and if you don't want to talk about commercial vehicle, you're talking about your private car. Now, you want to talk about the stress of you driving yourself, or if you're not going to be driving yourself, you're going to pay a driver. So where's the money going to come from? From your salary, right? And at the end of the day, you're still going to fill your tank with fuel. And we are talking about fuel now rising to 1,200 naira. You see, I really don't get
I
it.
don't have motorable roads. So at the end of the month, you're still going to go to the mechanic workshop for repairs. Yes, because shocks will go down. This one will
Absolutely.
You have to go there for repairs, and that one, because it's expensive. Importation is expensive. This one is expensive. Dollar is not cheap, so they will bill you too. So you're paying for virtually everything. The only thing we're not paying for in Nigeria is the air we breathe in.
You know what? Sometimes I've always said that a lot of times followers are deserving of the kind of leaders that they have, and the reason is not far-fetched. And this is how we also got to this point that we are in Nigeria. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants government to put an eye on them. So everybody just want to keep mute and just say, let's keep managing. We keep managing, and at the end of the day, we are in a bad shape. All right. Now, someone was saying something earlier, talking about the days when we're still purchasing fuel at 85 naira per liter, when former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan came out to say that he was going to increase it. You remember we occupied Nigeria. Now, you have to understand that every protest you see in the country or elsewhere, in most cases there are people behind the protest. There are people who sponsor it. So those days, I want to tell you, at that time, the All Progressives Congress APC, I think they used to be Action Congress then, after which now they metamorphosed into APC. They were the one that occupied then. In fact, they were the sponsor of the Occupy Nigeria, and I'm not mincing words about this. Find out the likes of the former Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, and the rest of them, including all of our actors and actresses. A lot of times you see people protest, they are being given stipends, let me use the word stipends, to encourage them. You have to understand the peculiar nature of Nigeria. In Nigeria, in most cases, nobody wants to sacrifice. And when you don't want to sacrifice, it becomes who does it? And at the end of the day, nobody does it. And the people who will eventually do it, they are doing it for certain interests. Now, why were the All Progressives Congress APC as ACN doing it then? It was because they're looking for every means, every avenue for them to come to government. And what happened eventually? They succeeded and they are now in government. And little wonders why the same people then castigating those in power then that, in fact, I remember that the former governor of Lagos State, who later became the Minister of Power, I'm talking about Raji Babatunde Fashola, SAN, said that if given the opportunity in less than 6 months or 6 months, I think he pegged it at that we are going to have stable power supply. But what did we have when he got to power? He didn't do anything. We are still in a situation of epileptic power supply. So I don't understand how this is going to change. But in any case, I've come to realize that in this country is that we are all actors, okay? The public office holders, they are acting a script, which is because at the end of the day, when they give us stable power supply, they give you good transportation, good roads and everything. You begin to ask yourself as politicians, what would they now campaign on? So a lot of times they will just do a bit, at the end of the day it gets spoiled, and what else? You go back to, don't worry, vote for me, I'm coming, this is what I want to do. And at the end of the day, the mantra is just there for you to be happy.
Like Solomon would always say, we are visionless leaders. If you have vision, you don't have to keep repairing roads every administration. There are so many things to do. You can, okay, so in Rwanda they have free Wi-Fi. So you're walking in the street of Kigali and there's free Wi-Fi. You can just sit down anywhere and connect to the government. So what happens if you say, all right, I will give so people free Wi-Fi, let's do this. I mean, we do water, we get water ourselves.
From our schools. Go to universities, go to the secondary schools. Give them higher institutions.
Yes.
Give them Wi-Fi.
Just
Unlimited supply for your assignments, for your projects.
Yes.
These are major. They will not just sit there and cut one ribbon of a borehole. Restroom somewhere. That's the visionlessness that we're trying to address. And it pains me the most that good people keep quiet. There's an anonymous quote that says the world suffers a lot, not because of the violence of bad people, but because of the silence.
Well, I think Solomon, you have to understand where that is coming from. In Nigeria, I've heard it countless times that politics is a dirty game, and if you really look at it, it's a game for the survival of the fittest. I've heard a particular politician, well known, I don't want to mention name right now, that they asked him one day, why do you believe in touts? Why do you believe in miscreants? I mean, in winning election. They said, he told them, he asked them, he said, when you go to the polls and you're voting and you hear the sound of a gun, he asked them, the so-called elite, he said, would you stand? Or he said, what would you do? And he said, he's going to take to his heels, he's going to run. And he said, that is the reason. He said, these miscreants come whatever they are there to stand, whatever challenge, and this is the reason why he brings them close. So how would you not expect somebody who does not know how to play the game, he's not fetish, is not, and then you expect person to go and give his life? How many have we heard that have died?
Then Obasanjo is right. We need to review what we call democracy, what we're practicing.
Sure.
Western democracy is not working for us.
I mean, let's do something else. This is not working. This is all about, like you said, survival of the fittest. How can it be survival of the fittest when we're saying democracy is the government of the people? It is people driven, for the people, by the people, and for the people.
Someone said something that back then when the former head of state, IBB, as Major General
head of state,
yes, Babangida retired, wanted to hand over, wanted to leave power. He was asking people, please come into politics, please come. But the good people refused to come in. They were busy doing their things, like, okay, look, I don't want to be bothered about this. And then the people, that's the miscreants, the thugs, we're like, okay, let's go.
It's an opportunity. Let's enhance it.
So they trooped in. Now,
they are in their numbers. They are the ones ruling. Now the good guys want to come in. Now you want to come in. It's difficult.
Okay.
You cannot penetrate any longer.
Okay, you just mentioned the IBB, former head of state. Even while he was there as a head of state, as a military government, there was an attempt on his life. There was a coup. If not because IBB himself was a very strong man, or is a very strong man. I remember that time some people even tagged him evil genius and all of that. So many names used for him. But it's still because he's a very strong man. That's why he was able to weather the storm, and till now he's still alive. The truth of the matter is, these miscreants that you're saying, they grew up in a tough environment. It's all about using force to take it. Take it by force is the language they understand. So these are the people that can do it. Because Shegu, if they ask you to bring your sister to come to politics and we'll talk, but the language of the market women and all that, do you even understand it? For God's sake, even Funke Akindele made an attempt to becoming deputy governor under PDP. Where's she? Despite her, making it in the entertainment industry, did people really vote for her? No. So the same Nigerians will not vote. They vote for those that will bring them money, bring them matches, put money in the match box, and a whole lot of inducement.
And that's our problem.
See, Shegun, we'll have to get it right eventually. I am not party affiliated, but I love what the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi did at the last presidential. He changed the horizon. You see, we cannot be used to nonsense in this country.
Okay.
We didn't see him with the woman selling bole or corn or akara. He didn't patronize any of these people.
And did he win?
Wait. Before we're talking about winning, it is about the dirtiness in the system first.
Yes.
Now, for us to purge that system, we need good people in there. I said it in church one time recently, sometimes last year when I was given the privilege to preach. I said religious organizations are part of the problems that we're facing in this country when it comes to good people, Christians, moral people participating in politics. Now, in the 70s, in the 80s, they thought politics was for the bad guys.
Okay.
So everybody wanted to
sit on the fence,
and it is unscriptural, because even in Proverbs the Bible said where the righteous ruled, the people rejoice. So encouraging a righteous ruler. But today, what do we see? Christians taking a back seat. No, we don't want to have anything to do with politics. And then that place has been saturated with bad guys. Now, the few pastors who went in there could not make any influence because they've been outnumbered. 2 years ago, I was privileged to sit with the chaplain of Aso Rock, and he enlightened us. He said, guys, we need Christians, young minds like you guys, to come into governance and politics because we have been outnumbered.
But how do we go in?
Let's start now. Now, Christians, ICAN and what's it called, the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, they are beginning to realize that, oh my God, we have been outnumbered. What can we do? The time is now. Get involved. The average Londoner has been brainwashed, and you know that they are born to rule. Yet we come to church and we say we are kings and priests. Our rulership starts from here, not where we get to heaven.
You know what, Solomon? What I feel is that we need to change the game, just like you are advocating, in the sense that a religious organization should begin to, register it somewhere in the head of their members. From the what's it called, children church. Let's begin to know. Do you know that I heard that about the state of Biafra, that right from when they are kids, their mothers and fathers start telling them about the war and the need for them to achieve the state of Biafra. My lecturer told me that at the University of Lagos, and they believe that they will still get it. So the way to go is that our religious leaders, we need some kind of force too. And that's why I say Israel, where Jesus himself was born. If you strike them once, they strike you 100 times. And when they do that, you don't try them again.
The problem we have, right, is ethnicity and religions. Now, the Hausa man wants to rule. He tell the northerners that, look, the Yoruba man is not your friend. If he gets there, he will destroy everything.
Sure.
So vote for me, right? The Yoruba want to rule. They say, look, the Hausa man is not your friend. Vote for me. Omoibo in Lagos State, be a governor in Lagos State. They will, they will use ethnicity to destabilize everybody, and then the wrong person wins. Now, if you check it out, most Muslim guys in power, right? Most of them is Alhaji, not Imam. Now, the real Muslim guys
with moral standards,
yes, are not there. They are unable to get there. It is just one man, because he has money and is able to go to Mecca, he becomes an Alhaji, and then he says most of them are not righteous. The upright Muslim guys are unable to get there.
Because they are not ambitious, because they don't think that they need to be there to make those change.
True.
That is what the religious leaders, both Muslim, both Christians, just come together, because you know that what you want for the people is a good life.
It's I think it's just all about being deliberate.
Yes.
We need to have a focus, and there should be a
Plan towards achieving it. I used to tell people that, you see, talk is cheap, or strategy is very key. Until we realize that indeed there is need for us to have a Christian person or a holy person there, then it has to start from the scratch. There should be a strategy, and that is part of what we're talking this morning. Now, not drifting away from the topic of discussion, I'm still talking about the fuel price of hike. Let me read to you that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, and marketers, they have denied rumors of petrol price increase to 1,200 per liter in Nigeria. They describe it as mere speculations. Of course, you remember that it was widely reported on Wednesday, precisely, that few marketers under the aegis of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, that's IPMAN, had the clash with the NNPC over fuel subsidy. A lot of people have been saying that underneath the government is still paying a subsidy. How true this is, I can remember that the TUC president, Osifo, came out to say it, that government is paying, and they have good evidence, for that. And government keeps telling us that this is not the truth. Again, the NNPCL has come to deny this. Now, in a statement obtained, NNPC spokesman Olufemi Shoneye said fuel subsidy has been removed again. They are clearing the air. He said, according to him, NNPC Limited, according to the statement, NNPC Limited emphasizes that it has not clashed with any party. The publication sought confirmation on the alleged subsidy reduction, to which NNPCL responded that subsidy has been entirely removed. Okay, and then in the IPMAN Board of Trustees to Treasurer Chinedu Okonkwo speech, he said it is not true that the price of petrol has been increased, and that those saying it are just speculating. And so we also remember that in President's inaugural speech, I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he declared that the subsidy era is gone. So Shegun, based on what we have been saying, or situation in Nigeria, it seems there's a trust deficit when it comes to the government, because today they say this, tomorrow we realize that what is termed mere speculation end up being a reality. Even before this fuel subsidy was removed, we have been hearing, of course, they call it rumors, they call it speculations that the fuel is going to increase and all that. But what happened eventually? Subsidy was eventually removed. In fact, some even said said it was removed, of course, from the time of the last administration led by former President Muhammadu Buhari. This was also confirmed yesterday by the former NNPCL head. I'm trying to remember his name, the one that Kelly took over from. He had an interview with journalists yesterday and insisted, he's even saying that this is the right way to go for the nation, and that this has been removed from Muhammadu Buhari's regime. The question now is, how will Nigerians survive if fuel price is being put at 1,200 naira when we're talking about a large number of Nigerians that are unemployed?
The Nigerian government, or should I say the leaders, they want to emulate what is happening in other parts of the world, in Western world, right? Say in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, in US, they buy for so dollars, $3, $4, $1, 50 cents.
That's their currency, for God's sake.
Now, these people, they earn per hour.
Their minimum wage is not 30k.
You understand? And then we are here, we earn per month. Our minimum wage is 30,000. Some states are unable to pay the 30,000. And now you're increasing the fuel price. How would they get from point A to point B? And then the things they ought to do, they are not doing it, because by the time you keep exporting your crude oil, they keep having more, you keep having less, and then you sell. Who sells crude oil? You sell to rebuy.
No. You sell to refine.
you sell, they refine, and you buy.
Again.
You don't have refineries. You
Laughable.
don't care.
Well, we can't say that we don't have refinery. In the president's inaugural speech, he has said that the Port Harcourt refinery is working any moment from now. So let's just, at least to an extent, he's been able to renew our hope, and let's just keep our fingers crossed and believe that indeed, as spoken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are going to have refineries working, at least one, and we're also hoping that the price of this fuel will be reduced, because we cannot be refining and at the same time we'll be paying higher. Yes. We are paying higher than when it was still, oh my goodness, and resold or rebought.
The dangerous thing about what the present administration is doing that they do not know is that when you raise people's hope high and then you dash it, right, it will definitely bounce back to you. People will go to the street because 80% of Nigerians are frustrated. 80% are frustrated. At least 50 or 60% are depressed.
But do you remember the reports that the doctor in the psychiatric home in Yaba said that they hardly have space to contain people who are depressed and have mental.
The economy is driving people crazy.
And you know what? You know my fear in all of this is that our democracy is being threatened.
Yes.
And I see leaders who are not seeing that trouble looms because when people are tired, it might be pretty difficult for them to contain the situation.
Okay, let me take that from you. Yesterday, the National Association of Nigerian Student President said something. Let me quickly take it. He said, we will not stand idly while students suffer due to poverty caused by government policies at any level.
Okay.
And we are committed to protecting the interests of Nigerian students and ensuring that their rights of quality of affordable education is upheld. We hereby send a clear message to the federal government and NNPCL that any attempt to increase fuel prices will be met with strong resistance from NANS, and we will mobilize students and the masses to challenge this at any point in time, expressing our discontent and demanding a reversal of such detrimental policies.
Thank you very much for bringing this again to the notice of the public. Let me also let you know that the school fee of these students tertiary institution has increased. It's not just by 10% or 20%. I have a girl child, my neighbor's child who got admission into OSU. I think that's Olabisi Onabanjo University now. And as he was telling me that the students are preparing to protest, SUG is preparing to protest, I said, why? She said, a school fee for, if you're studying economics, you pay, I think, 500,000.
Wow.
500,000. She is studying. I'm trying to remember her course. Ours is 300,000. I'm like, are you kidding me? She said yes. She said even I think science courses too at 500,000 naira. And I said, how will your mom do this? And you have younger ones of 3 younger ones.
You know the danger of this thing. After paying 500,000. For 4 years.
Thank you. Job isn't guaranteed.
You now come out, no job.
It isn't guaranteed.
You know, the best thing for this economy, look, like I said, the common man cannot go out to protest. But you see the students in the universities,
still vibrant.
Those are the guys that can protest because their parents are still working to still send pocket money to them. They do not really have much at stake, except for their future. So they are the one that can go out there, protest. I mean, we have so many universities in Nigeria. So many. Take to the streets. I mean, thank God for the universities they built everywhere. Everywhere. So all these students, come out, mobilize yourself. I mean, we have SUGs everywhere. Let SUG mobilize everybody. Go to the streets. Then we can now start to discuss.
My only fear concern with NANS and SUG. Some of their top guns will be called by these politicians.
In fact, you took it away from me.
That's the only challenge. The same corruption issue that was
happening. Yes. In addition to what Solomon is saying, what I see, just like Shegun, you analyzed, what I see is at the end of the day, there will be disunity. There will not be cooperation. Remember, even when NLC started, we were on the street then, what happened? Oshomale, who used to be the president of NLC, and at that point in time was a national chairman of APC, was the one that also worked, he beckoned on a group, some members of NLC to start or fly theirs. And this is when we had ULC. You understand? Then they began to clash between both parties. And at the end of the day, what happened? Today now, they've come together under the same umbrella of NLC. But at that moment in time, government succeeded in ensuring that, it caused disunity.
Destabilizing everything. Well, I know that someday, somewhere, we will get it right. And everything, Nigeria will be good for all of us. All right, that's all we'll be able to take on the topic for discussion today. But then it is time now for us to look at the hashtags and trends. What's happening? What are they saying in the country? Is it going to favor us? Is it not? So right about now, I leave you in the hands of my handsome Alhaji.
Nakwana.
Is that the right?
All right. I don't know. I don't know. Don't set me up this morning. Okay, so an interesting story has been trending, and it's from the Minister of Interior, who slams NIS for making married women travel all the way to Abuja, to their Abuja office for change of name.
So you live wherever state you're in?
Yes, board a plane and then go to Abuja. Probably lodge in an hotel.
If you're in Ebonyi, you go to Abuja.
Yes.
Because you got married.
If you are in Sakoto,
you go to Abuja because you got married. So then people will not have a change of names. Because going to Abuja means you have to
lodge doesn't make any
in a
sense.
hotel. You have to, you don't have any family members in Abuja, so you lodge in a hotel. If you cannot afford flight, you go by road flights. You understand? So you do to and fro, and then 1 day to go, 1 day to come, then 1 day to sleep over there, because
there is every tendency that when you go there, they will not attend to you.
And then there's also
That same day. Well, you see, what I see in this is somebody just trying to make themselves very relevant. And of course, this kind of development, it can't stand the test of time. And I'm happy that the Minister of Interior is already coming out to castigate them. That why would you be saying that? It is not feasible. I mean, why would married women have to travel all the way to your Abuja office? I don't understand. Are you trying to say we are in the days when we talk about there is BVN, there is NIN, and then you are now coming? I think you are just seeking relevance, and this will not see the light of the day. Sorry.
I remember a period of time whereby if you misplace your international passport, you have to go to Abuja. You have to go to Abuja to get another one. So why do you have offices across the nation?
I wonder. No, you see, they are also trying to make money, in such a way that they can be in charge. That's what is happening. So they don't want, maybe they've given end of the year reports, and they realize that offices in different states generated more revenue than they are at the national, so they should be generating more.
Well, I wish we could continue with that, but there's another story that is trending about the iconic edifice that was built in Akwa Ibom State, and a lot of tongues have been wagging. That is this what we need at this time as a nation?
When people are still complaining of hunger, food
Massive,
feeding.
we must commend that it's actually a massive structure, very beautiful. But do we need this?
So the question is,
But is this a Christian, is it a worship center?
Yes, it is.
Come on. Well, you have to know one thing that I know about Christianity at the moment is that there is high competition amongst the different
This is from the state government.
this is state government. Wow, quite interesting. Then of course it is in projects like this that monies get into private pockets. And so when you see this, everybody is amazed. Wonderful. But in capital project or a huge project like this, somebody's smiling home. So
somebody has to smile because it's worth how much? 32 billion.
can you beat that?
32 billion.
And if you do your investigation, you find out that there are lots of beggars, hungry men and women, even children in that place. Are there no other things that you can use these resources for?
How many
This is totally unnecessary.
How many manufacturing companies do they have in Akwa Ibom? That you're building a church of 32 billion naira. How much can you generate from this at the end of the year?
Akwa Ibom State is not one of the elite states in this country when it comes to generated revenue, when it comes to good roads and all of that. They are not there yet. But yet the government deem it fit that this is what is best for them as a state at this time. Anyways, that's all I'll be able to take for hashtags and trends this morning.
All right, thank you very much. I hope in all you're getting, you get wisdom. Understanding.
I assume his advice going to the government of Akwa Ibom.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today on the edition of U45 Morning Show. Sheikhuddin Oladiemi is my name.
I am Osage Solomon Wilfred.
And I am Adenike Owoye Ajiboye. Wish you a pleasant weekend.
All right, we'll come your way again to have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye for now.